What are you at? It's Paul from Wicked Acorn. Welcome back. It's Humpty Dumpty Day. It is, what is it? It's Wednesday the 15th, right? The 15th of August. And if it's your first time here, we look at history and stuff. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at history and stuff. And first, we'll look at a few events from history in this day in history. Hello, 1234. I think that's 1234. It's user PW3TR1XG2K. I think that's 1234. Like, I don't know. I don't know. October. What did I say? Yes, it is October, isn't it? Isn't it October? October 15th? Yes, of course it's October 15th. And that's what we're going to look at today because we have to. I started working on my Halloween video, my spooky Halloween video, which is coming up soon. I don't know when I'll get that out, but did I say August? Oh, okay. Uh, there might be a reason for that. And we'll get to that in a moment. Uh, where is it? Where is it? Our last where is it photo. This is the Church of St. Nicholas, Church Lane, East Kirkby, East Lindsay. And I'll get to the reason why this photo today. But what I wanted to say about this is some time ago, we were talking about the Christmas concert that I'm working on, which is still in the works, and I've been doing some research on stuff. And I've done a lot of research on Santa Claus, St. Nick, St. Nicholas Church. But I never thought to research Father Christmas. I just assumed Father Christmas and Santa Claus were one and the same. And somebody was asking if Santa Claus originally had a green suit and was changed to red by Coca-Cola. There is some truth in that story, but more interestingly is that Father Christmas and Santa Claus are not the same person, which I didn't know. I thought they were the same person. Father Christmas is not based on St. Nicholas at all. His origins have nothing to do with St. Nick. Interesting. And originally, I think originally Santa Claus wore a green suit as well, which I haven't really gotten into yet. But Father Christmas has nothing to do with St. Nicholas, not based on St. Nick at all. And he originally wore a green robe. He now wears a red robe, probably in keeping with Santa Claus, because they've kind of become one and the same nowadays, but they're not the same character at all in history, what they're based on. So yeah, in Dickens' Christmas Carol, he wears a green robe. Father Christmas wears a green robe. So Father Christmas and Santa Claus are not the same person. So that's an interesting tidbit that I learned myself a couple days ago. There's our Where Is It photo for the next live stream. So I'm going to get a sip of tea from my brew cup, and you can have a look at our next Where Is It photo and see if you can figure out where this one is. This will be for tomorrow's live stream. And that's what we do. We're on here every day from 6:30 to whenever. I haven't worked out a format yet. Sometimes it's over an hour, sometimes it's shorter. So it's just however, whenever long. And I got 2 cups of tea today, not because it's going to be an extremely long live stream, but I I like tea. What can I say? And that's the Brew Crew mug. And talking about the Christmas concert, the dreaded C word. Um, I'm working on a Christmas concert, so it's forefront in my mind. And also, we sell these things at market and stuff. And actually, I will not be at the Sailmakers Market this Sunday, third Sunday of the month. I won't be at the Makers Market this month. I forgot to book it, and so I won't be there. So if you want a Brew Crew mug or any other things, we make mosaics and things. This is what I'm working on. I don't have my overhead camera set up, but somebody asked me to make an an Oasis mosaic. So that's what I make. I make mosaics and then print them on mugs and coasters and things. So that's a mosaic I'm working on. The real ceramic tile mosaics. And let's get to this day in history. October 15th. On October 15th, 1520, King Henry VIII of England ordered the installation of bowling lanes in his palace at Whitehall. Um, the thing on the right there is a bowling ball that was found. Um, King Henry VIII may be most famous for ruthlessly beheading his wives, but he was also keen on rolling other spherical objects, namely bowling balls. Henry VIII and his courtiers were known to be fans of lawn bowling, which involved tossing a bowl or ball across open lawns in royal gardens. The Tudor era bowling ball above, recently discovered in what used to be the moat of King John's Court Manor House, thanks to digging work related to the London Crossrail project, is a remnant of one of the British monarchy's favorite pastimes. So there you go. And this might be why I thought it was August. We talked about this way back on the 4th of October, not the 4th of August, but we lost 10 days. The Gregorian calendar was introduced in Spain, Portugal, and the Papal States in 1582, when 10 days were skipped, moving directly from October 4th to October 15th to correct a day shift that had accumulated due to the Julian calendar's less accurate leap year system. This reform, decreed by Pope Gregory the 13th, also established a more accurate system for leap years to prevent future drift. There's a leap second nowadays. I don't know how often they do it. Leap years are pretty interesting, though. It's every 4 years, and there are a bunch of other rules to it as well. If the century starts, I can't remember the rules now, but there are rules that take place at the change of the century as well. Or maybe it's the change of the millennia. I can't remember. Anyway, we've experienced one recently. There was an extra leap day, or one was taken out or something. Anyway, I've forgotten the details of that. But today, it was in 1582. This would have been the 4th in 1583, but they lopped off 10 days and jumped to the 15th, and it started today in 1582. After his defeat at the Battle of Worcester, did I get that close? Charles II escaped England by sailing from Shoreham, West Sussex, to France on October 15th, 1651, disguised as a servant and aided by a network of royalist supporters. The escape involved a 6-week journey across the country with numerous disguises and safe houses to evade pursuing parliamentary forces before successfully reaching the coast near Brighton and securing passage on a collier brig to Faux-Camp, France. And that is the photo on the right there, of course, is the new Charles. And that is supposed to be the tree he hid in, I think. It's a hollowed out oak tree that Charles hid in during his escape. On October 15th, 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte arrived at the remote island of St. Helena to begin his final exile after his defeat at Waterloo. He was transported by the HMS Northumberland, and after a short stay at the Briars Pavilion, moved to Longwood House in December 1815, where he lived until his death in 1821. I'm having what I call milk. We ran out of milk, and this is the boxed milk. I call it emergency milk, sometimes milk. So I'm enjoying it, but not as much as fresh milk. That's all we used to have one time, carnation milk. It's not carnation milk in it there now, but that forever milk, whatever it's called, milk, emergency milk. This came up a while ago too. We were talking about the introduction of boxing gloves, and for some reason I remember this guy's name. I don't know why. John L. Sullivan. It's his birthday today. 1858 to 1918. Was a legendary American boxer known as the Boston Strong Boy, and the first heavyweight champion of gloved boxing. He was also the last heavyweight champion of bare knuckle boxing, a cultural icon and one of the first sports superstars. Born in Roxbury, Massachusetts, he is credited with bridging the gap between bare knuckle and modern glove-based boxing, and was the first athlete to earn over $1 million. Wow. But it's hilarious to watch these guys box back in the day, because there is some film of these guys. I don't know if there's film of John L. Sullivan boxing. Perhaps there is. But it's really hilarious to watch them box. Like they do this kind of thing like you see people jokingly do, like Charlie Chaplin doing this silly boxing kind of thing, but that's the way they used to box. None of this, Mike Tyson or whoever the guy is now. I don't really follow boxing. Mike Tyson, that's the only one I can think of. So that's how long ago since I followed boxing at all. So he was born today. That's interesting. This next one, I put this in for only one reason. Well, two reasons. It's Paul Tanner's birthday, 1917. Paul Tanner, American trombonist. He played with the Glenn Miller Orchestra, and he's also the developer and player of the electro theremin. So he played on the Beach Boys' Good Vibrations, I guess. That sound. It's a theremin. It's a really interesting instrument. It's the only instrument you play without touching it. You don't touch it at all. You just, there's like antenna on it or something, and you interrupt the electronic field, or I don't know. I've seen it played, but I don't know how it works. So you interrupt the magnetic field or the electronic field, and that's what creates the sound. So very interesting instrument. So that's interesting, but the real reason I put this in is because I really wanted to say that he was born in Skunk Hollow, Kentucky. Skunk Holler. He was born in Skunk Holler. and he died in 2013. This is what we're going to look at today, and this is why our mystery photo, because that church and that community is nearby the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight airstrip. What's it called? Coningsby or something? You'll have to correct me. I don't remember the... Rick is certainly into this. He's been to this several times, Rick Ainsworth. But on this day in history, the last RAF Lancaster bomber was retired on October 15th, 1956, when the final aircraft, Lancaster GR3 RF325, flew from RAF St. Maughan in Cornwall to be scrapped. This marked the end of the type's 15-year service with the Royal Air Force, which had used the aircraft for various roles, including maritime reconnaissance after World War II. And so that was the last in-service Lancaster that flew. And the last one in Canada was in like 64, I think. They were in the Coast Guard. And the one, Vera, they call her, is the other flying Lancaster. She was based in St. John's, Newfoundland, in the Coast Guard up until 1963. And that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at a video I found about the Lancaster bomber. Keep forgetting to turn that screen off. The hopefully we'll get through this without copyright nonsense. It's from 1943, and it's pretty interesting. I've been looking for some footage of people building them, because it was built here in Greater Manchester. And yeah, so it's really interesting. I want to do a story about the Lancaster and its history here in Greater Manchester. They... well, we'll play the clip, and I'll interrupt from time to time. So Leslie Mitchell is the voice you hear in all these things. All those movies, yeah, and any of that, those things, those black and white infomercials, whatever you want to call them, those reels that we used to see in the cinema before films and before movies and stuff, and between double features. This guy, Leslie Mitchell.
The RAF Lancaster, most powerful and efficient bomber in the world, and one of the most important war-winning weapons yet devised by the United Nations. Its fame is already established from that first heroic daylight flight to Augsburg, through the 1,000 bomber raids on Cologne and Bremen, to the present day. The Lancaster is a name that is writing war history. Lancasters are being built in several factories in Britain and Canada, built in terrific numbers. With every man and woman engaged in their construction, one thought is uppermost. The RAF is depending on them for Lancasters, and yet more Lancasters. Give the RAF its Lancasters, and a great contribution will have been made towards Allied victory. Meet a few of the ordinary, hard-working people devoted to this important task. Angela Roberts, a capstan operator. Maisie Rafferty at a press. Little Billy drilling. Dobson Hind and his mate, Joan Evans, riveting. Trimming and hammering, Alice Warburton and Rachel Strong. Jimmy Garnett, an all-in wrestler in his spare time, at a heavy capstan. And a machine that doesn't require much human attention, an automatic lathe. It does everything but think. Let there be no doubt or argument about it. The skill and application of the workers in the aircraft factories is a great source of strength in our progress towards victory. Every pilot of a Lancaster is confident that he's handling an aircraft into which has gone not only superb designing, but the proud craftsmanship of an experienced army of workers. It's difficult to assess the value of that confidence in carrying out the vital tasks which are assigned to bomber crews. That confidence depends on the first-rate workmanship which is put into every nut and bolt, every part from the smallest component to the largest. Together, they build up into effective instruments for the hammering of Germany. The Lancaster comes of a famous family. Its immediate predecessor was the twin-engined Manchester. Then a means was found to incorporate 4 engines in the general Manchester design, and the result was the Lancaster. 4 Merlin or Hercules engines give it a top speed of 300 miles an hour. The increased horsepower enables no less than 8 tons of bombs to be carried. The design lends itself to rapid production, an important point in so large and complicated a machine as a heavy bomber. And here's a sight become increasingly routine, a Lancaster leaving the sheds for its test flight. People are apt to think of the test flight as simply a pilot's job. But many other things besides the pilot's controls have to be tested in the air. There are the gauges and mechanism used by other members of the crew. Engineers and technicians accompany the pilot to note the performance and check the equipment. The test flight is just an everyday duty for the experts engaged on it, but it's an absorbing affair seen through the eye of the camera. Finally, our Lancaster has arrived at an operational station. It's the eve of another raid, a 1,000-bomber raid. The ground crews are completing the preparation of the Lancaster for its task. Faithfully, they check, test the guns, load up the cargo which Goering promised should never fall on Germany. He and his deluded country are a bit wiser now. They realize at last what they started over Warsaw, Rotterdam, Belgrade, Coventry, London, and Malta. The pilots are preparing too. In the briefing room, they learn their target and receive final instructions for the raid. Already, many German industrial cities have been devastated. But of places which have yet to feel the full weight of the RAF offensive, there still remains a long list.
You now know precisely the next item on that list. Cross it off.
Zero hour is approaching. Night is falling fast. The night of 1,000 bombers for Germany.
Yes, everything's okay, sir. Okay. Full bang on, is it? Yes, everything's bang on, sir. Right here. Come in a bit. I have this again.
And now, as our Lancaster takes to its element, think again of the importance of every item in its construction. The successful accomplishment of the job it has been assigned to may depend on one of the smallest parts. The lives of its crew, too. These, the first successful motion pictures ever taken during a night operation over Germany, were shot by the second pilot of a Lancaster. Imagine him prepared at any moment to leave camera for controls as he shoots the spectacular scenes which follow. The first bombers have dropped their incendiaries and ringed the target. Our cameraman is with the second wave. Flying at a great height, he sees nothing but flame and fire, fire and flames. Each speck of light a blazing German building. Easy enough to realize the catastrophe, the concentrated chaos that is overwhelming the city below. Almost unbroken lines of fire extend a mile in length. Yet the raid is still young. At least 500 more bombers have yet to come. Incidentally, there's quite a lot of flak about. Now we're turning home again, with our report of another successful chapter in Britain's air offensive. Goering has assured the German people that the RAF has never sent 1,000 bombers over Germany. Well, if it wasn't exactly 1,000, it might have been 1,001. Speed the day which sees 1,000 Lancasters over Germany. It all builds up to the same supreme purpose, the paralyzing of the German war effort, the overthrow of German armed might, and the elimination of Nazism. Factory workers, no less than bomber crews, are dedicated to this task, and their Lancaster is truly a great champion in the fight. Let's say it again. The finest bomber in the world, built in British factories by British labor. That's the Avro Lancaster, the sky giant of the RAF.
So I was watching that very closely there. Want to go back and if it will let me, and check out the factory workers. He certainly implies at the end there that it's in Britain. And 1 second now. So he certainly implies that it's in Britain at the end there, the factory. He names one of the people. Well, he names several of the people, but one of them was a wrestler. So I'll check into that to see. It would be nice to know where that factory is. It doesn't say in the description. It's can you see that there? Sky Giant, the story of the Avro Lancaster, 1943. Armored Archivist is the name of the channel. I wouldn't know one factory from another. I guess there's not many that would these days. But very interesting. I need to have a look and see if I can find out where this is. it's how many of these things that they make? Thousands and thousands of these were made, and of course, thousands of them were lost as well. But very interesting. The raid at the end there is so these people are named. Let's see.
Maisie Rafferty at a press. Little Billy drilling. Jobson Hind and his mate Joan Evans riveting. Trimming and hammering Alice Warburton and Rachel Strong. Jimmy Garnett, an all-in wrestler in his spare time at a heavy capstan.
Did anybody catch that name? So he was, what did they say, a wrestler in his spare time? So I don't know if he was like professional or anything like that in his spare time. I guess not, but it's hard to, I mean, we're all the same people. Canadians are, we all have English names, and well, not all of us, but a lot of us, most of us have English names. And I wouldn't be able to tell whether those people are Canadian or English in 1943, or whether this plant is British or Canadian. Either way, it's very interesting. Um, they would, I'm surprised at how thick that aluminum is. I've never um, examined a Lancaster in that way. I've never really seen one up close. Um, I'm surprised that aluminum is so thick. I remember I saw a helicopter land many, many years ago, and it landed at a not a Kentucky Fried Chicken, a Mary Brown's. That's a Eastern Canada, Newfoundland version of like Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's crispy chicken and chips and stuff. Mary Brown's, very popular. Uh, we have Kentucky Fried Chicken as well, but Mary Brown's is very popular in Newfoundland and the Atlantic provinces. And we were at this Mary Brown's, and a helicopter landed outside, and the pilot came in and got some food. And asked him, I said, can I go look at the helicopter? He said, yeah, sure. So I went out, and I was just amazed at how slight the thing was. Like, I touched it, and it's like the aluminum on the side of this helicopter was like, it was so thin. It was amazing. Uh, yeah. Anyway, I'm surprised at how thick that aluminum was, or at least how thick it appeared to be. Anyway, I won't labor the point too much, but if anybody recognized anyone there, or recognizes anyone of the names or the places, or you know anything about it. So these are the test flight people, and Canadians wear berets too. We have French people. Um, Not that you have to be French to wear a beret, especially back then. Um, so these were built in Canada as well, and they would fly them to Newfoundland, to Gander, Newfoundland, and then they would fly across the ocean to somewhere. I don't know where they landed over here, but they left from Gander, Newfoundland. and interesting movie I worked on about the Ferry Command, it was called. And those guys, the first time they flew over was quite harrowing. And it was a movie about that we worked on. Kind of a history love story, you know, to keep people interested in it. It's not even a docudrama. Sort of a docudrama. Follows the story of the first guys flying across in Hudson bombers. But anyway, a lot of these were flown from Gander, Newfoundland. The raid they show at the end that's a lovely shot. Um, there is audio of that whole thing I've listened to before. Somebody from the BBC or something went up on the flight on that 1,000 bomber mission, and there's audio of the whole thing. It's pretty crazy. Some reporter went along, and I think it's that same raid. Anyway, it's pretty. Reporters are pretty brave people, aren't they? Anyway, as I said, I won't labor it too much. Go back to our photo for tomorrow and see if you can figure out where tomorrow's photo is. And if you have any suggestions about the Christmas concert, leave those. And if you're watching this afterwards, leave a comment on anything you can think of. There's going to be a Christmas concert coming up sometime in the future. I don't know when. I haven't started booking any of them, but I'll probably do one for sure at St. Martin's. Anyway, it's all airy-fairy right now. So leave a comment in the comments, and that's about all I have to say today, unless somebody has some comment or something to make there. So, thanks for joining us. That was kind of a long one, wasn't it? We'll see you in the next one.